Good evening and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Pooks and tonight we're going to continue on the construction of our middling factory. That's right, we're producing things, we've got blue motors being produced, we've got green motors being produced, we have all the things being produced really, and we're going to continue to build that. Now, in the break, I actually did do a little bit of things. I couldn't help myself. Basically, I went over and we finished a big brain in the last episode, so we'll take you through what we did. I put down a few more antimatter production sort of things and got that a little bit sorted out, a bit more photon generation from the Dyson Sphere here. So that's flowing a little bit better now as well, which is great. I also wandered over to Smolder and the smelter at Smolder, and I dropped down a few more smelting arrays here. So where we've got all these ships clustering around, that is a very, very busy planet. Look at it go. We have another 2 iron smelting arrays there as well. Which is fantastic, and that'll help continue to contribute. And then part of the reason why this is so busy is because it's actually a really longish way between Smolder and Arrakis here. And the final thing that I did is we actually went out to our neutron star out here, and we went into orbit and we got an achievement by being in orbit around this thing, and we put down on here a very small factory. A very small factory, or in fact a mining station, for unipolar magnets. Now there's only 1.8 million unipolar magnets there, so I'm very conscious we have limited resources of that. So initially I was thinking that I would use it to produce particle containers, but I'm not sure if I want to do that now or not. Just because I do have, that incredibly low amount of resource, and the only other place that we'll get unipolar magnets is here at this black hole, and I'm just not sure how many I'll get. So with only potentially 2 veins in existence, I'm not sure if it's worth it, or if we just go the traditional route. So unipolar magnets, by the way, can be used to produce, the particle containers here. So it's a very big shortcut recipe. Instead of having to use the green motors and graphene, we can go straight to the particle containers. But it is also used in the production of the T2 plane smelters. So instead of arc smelters, we get plane smelters. Which is twice as fast, basically. So it's a fairly advanced building, and I haven't been building any of those yet. So I'm wondering if I should be making it, if I'll ever end up using plane smelters. Maybe I will, at which point I'd really regret, using them all up on particle containers. So, but considering I do have a reserve at the moment, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I've just talked myself back into it, basically. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna make particle containers tonight, and we're gonna do it using the advanced recipe. But we might also do it using the traditional recipe. We'll have an advanced recipe factory just to shortcut us into having enough of these going around. And then we might also have the traditional recipe, the old style recipe, as it says, yeah, like Grandma used to make, with the need to use graphene and green motors. Now the other thing that we are getting low on is processors, so if we can squeeze it in today, we'll start working on a processors sort of factory. That does involve making microcrystalline components on your basic, along with circuit boards on your basic as well, to get us up to that point. But we are certainly do need those processors for the production of many things. Alright, so that's enough talking. Let's actually get to the producing. And we're just going to work out where I'm going to site these. Let's look at our recipe first. How often does this? Every 4 seconds. So I'm going to need a few of them. I don't know why I've got the help manual thingy up, but see, I might want to use this, but I don't want to really pave over it, but I might have to, I don't know. And then I'm seeing this iron vein, and I know that my local, no, actually, I'd say local smelters, but we don't have local smelters. I think I'm just going to go down and skip the iron vein, and if I leave a big enough gap, actually, that should mean that I can just copy something. Yeah. That's what we'll do. Alright, I'm content with that. Leave a decent space between this area. So let's even mark that out now with maybe a belt. Something. So if we go 1, 2, 3. Alright. So this is a reserved area. Yeah, this is a good way. I like this way. This is how we're gonna put down like a little reserved area here. Oh, wow, research. You keep stalling research. I'm pretty sure it's antimatter related. Hope it is anyway. That means there's yet another problem. Let's get rid of this guy. I don't know, I'll come back to this, see if it's moved later on in the episode, in the stream. Stream episode, I don't know which term should I really be using here. Alright. We won't drop it exactly on the equator because I think that's actually going to cause us issues, for which we'll need tissues. Alright. We're going to go with the advanced version first. So for this, we are going to need unipolar magnets. Wherever that is on the right hand side, we're going to need some copper, and we're going to need some blue paint. So remote demand. And we're starting to get those guys coming in. We'll go local storage. Now I do need to drop this down to just be 100, please. Local demand, remote storage, remote demand. We'll say about 500. Local demand, remote storage. I think we're good now. All right, we'll give it some dudes so they can warp around and pick up materials rather than having it delivered by others, and we're good there. Alright, the next thing we want to do is, now this is going to produce 1 every 4 seconds, right? So that's 0.25 per factory. That was per standard factory, really. 0.25. And if I times that by 1.5 to get us to the assembling Mark III factories, and then by 1.25, that's basically 0.5 a second. So it's 0.46875. So we'll round it up to 0.5 a second, shall we? If we're going for 30 per second output belts. It's going to need 2 inputs plus space for power as well. So I might just go here. Yeah. Alright, so if I want to do 30 a second, I'm going to need 60 of these. apparently I need some foundation support as well. Cool. Do that. Alright. Alright, so that will give us 30 a second of particle containers apparently. Now what we want to do is do our belts for it. So we'll start with the output. Jeepers, this is long. And then we'll need the old input belts. So what I'm going to do is just run this like so. I might grab the blueprint tool for this. Alright, the little snippy. Grab you, use now. And just do that. That should get most of it done for us. I'm just going to snip at the end here. I need a little bit more. There we go. We'll set the recipe while I'm standing here. And we'll also set our sorters while I'm standing here. So that as I start to wander back down this way, I can do that. And make sure our sorters get input. Our belt needs to be built before this method of running the sorters down actually works, so I've got to pay attention to that, not get ahead of myself. And then we'll finish off the last few input belts here. Come on. There we go. Alright. Cool. So that 30 a second is going to take 10 of these. Ooh, hang on. 10 divided by 4 is 2.5, I think. So... yeah... 2.5 a second is necessary per thing. So if I have 60 of these, 60 times 2.5, right? That's 150 per second inputs. Yeah, think we can do that? I don't. So let's just double check this. 10 divided by 4, 2.5. Yep. If I had 10 factories, then it would need 25 per second. Now currently I can run 60 a second on these belts, so really that would presumably mean that I could only fill up about 20 of these things. So times 2. If I've done that right. I think that I have though. So have I just made a lemon? That is the question. 60-second output that I can get on a single belt at our current logistics level. But that'll go up to slightly more later on. Hang on. Yeah, at current logistics level, I stack at 1 point, so it's got to be 60 a second. So I could use pilers to get that very easily to 120 a second and just run 3 of these factories, right? Or 3 rungs per thing, and that will get us very close. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, let's design that now, if we can. Of course we can. So, first we'll get copper out, right? That'll come out like that. Next, we're going to need these. And we'll want to proliferate at the point that it exits. Alright. Once that proliferation is done, we'll have our pilers waiting. Like here and here. So we'll go input and then input. And we'll have an output. I'm just going to run it to here so it's not actually connected up. And then that. Let's connect up power. If I run this, then we're stacked up to a 4 stack. Yep. So that's pretty much exactly what we want, I think. So it's 4 times 30, which is 120 a second. Not the 150 that I think we'll actually need. But as they say, good enough for government work. Sorry for any government employees that might be watching this. I'm very sorry to hear that you're employed by the government. Zing! Yeah! Kidding. Alright, so we're going to want to do that, the same sort of situation in all of our outputs here. Where we have those stackers working for us. Done it the wrong way again. It's just very counterintuitive. To me, anyway. Maybe they're not to anyone else, but they are to me. And I'm the person here. Yep, good. Alright. That will enable us to get another set going. Just while I'm doing the output belts from the logistics, I might as well go for the whole hog. Let's do it all. And then that part will be set up, alright? Because we're going to do 3 rungs, I've decided, just on an entirely arbitrary basis of my stack counts. We'll put you there, and then we'll need those stackers. Then that will need power as well, so we'll sort of sit that there. Out we go like that. Alright. Then finally, we want everything to be nice and proliferated. There we go. Alright. Sorry. And we want to put down power basically. Make sure that we got plenty of it. And at the far end, we will have an output for all of this in form of a logistics station. To ship it around wherever it needs to go. So that will be particle containers, and we're going to need some of these as well. Local demand. We're going to be supplying these. And I'm going to take the unusual step here of actually proliferating before it goes in. Because where these guys are headed, I don't think they'll actually get painted properly. So we'll order in some paint here as well. Not my normal policy anymore to proliferate upon input, but we are making the exception here. Alright. So now with that set up, we want to basically copy paste this. Now drop this in a second rung. And then we can put the... I think I have to put it really quite close, but I don't think I can. That's going to be the closest I can do, unfortunately. But that's fine, we'll do like so, do that like so. Yeah, the need for the stackers to be quite close is just kind of thrown my normal building pattern out here. Also meant that we've got this big gap in the middle, which I really don't like. I feel like a big waste of land here. Just dropping down Tesla towers as well for the power. Why not? They are cheap. There's one really good thing about Tesla towers, that they're cheap. You can just kind of sneak them here in the gaps. Doesn't work in the polar regions, of course, but we are nowhere near a polar region, nor am I going to build a factory of this size in the polar regions, because the rungs are too long. So I feel like we can get away with it there. But yeah, the main reason this isn't working in terms of compactness is that we've just got these things to be working into the whole mess. Do that. Put it up, that can connect. this can run up as well. And then these guys can also connect. Get rid of that one. And do I have any magnets in storage now? Yeah, I do. You're precious guys, so we'll just drop you in. And instantly all those magnets are disappearing. 12,000, just like that, are gone. Turning into particle containers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we've got a whole heap of factories that are just not coming online down here. They ain't getting no magnets. Nor will they, because these guys have just sucked up all the supplies straight away. Because 12,000 is not so much in the scheme of things. So I'm almost thinking that we want a second logistics station here to try and give us more input, right? To try and keep this running. Can we back it up? Will that work? I'm not sure, but we'll give it a red hot go. So this, and I think copper might actually be a need here as well. We're going to want some warpers. Right, demand, and then you're going to demand, you're going to demand. Go this for storage. And then just give you some power. Then what we'll do is have it feeding out like so. Doesn't need to be proliferated or anything. Just running like that. In fact, with the settings here, we can probably even just speed this up a little bit by using stackers or automatically pilers. I'm staying with stackers though. I like the, you know. And we'll put another couple on either side as well, because I figure this can go like that and run in, then run around, and then this one can go like that and in, and then run around. Alright, so that's now also demanding things in, and it runs straight in there, but it does increase our supply capacity, I guess. Like, I don't think copper will actually be in the problem here. It's definitely going to be unipolar magnets. We only have one place that we're getting it from. And I don't think I ramped up the machine to be at 300% production either, which is maybe a bit of a rookie error there. Oh, does it stay 4 stacked? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's not. So yeah, constant supply from this, we'll just do 2 of these. But as this gets its own magnets in, it's just doing a big supply dump now as well. And this is why probably the local recipe or the standard recipe is going to be a better recipe. Just because it's going to be grabbing those green motors from a local source. And we're not going to need 10 of them per particle container, right? It's a lot of magnets. So this is why I had all those reservations. On the plus side, it is producing a whole heap of highly proliferated particle containers at the moment. Now what we might also do, now that we have full supplies of this, that's kind of shut down, and this is still running. you getting enough materials? You are. That's good. Alright, we're going to do another factory of particle containers, but we're going to do the regular variety, shall we say. Now there's a lake there. I'm not sure I want to pave it over, because once it's paved I'm not sure if I can get it back. So we might just continue on from this point to get our other flavor of particle container factory. And by having that second flavor already kind of built, it means that we're not going to just suddenly run out and be scrambling to produce a factory. So this one is going to need graphene, it's going to need green motors, and it's going to need copper. So we'll start setting up the demands in a second. We're also going to want blue paint, and we're going to want warpers. Alright, so local demand, remote storages, remote demand, storage, local, storage, remote demand, storage. Give you some of these guys as well, and some power. Now, as you can see, we've got a change in the geographic kind of aligning system here, so we don't want to go north of that if we could possibly avoid it. So we'll just set this just shy of it, and we'll be able to get our outputs from there. Now, as we noted before, to do a full rung, we're going to need 60 of these, which is a lot. But it's actually going to be more achievable with this one than it is with the alternate recipe, because we're not having it to input of 10, we've got an input of 2 at some point. And that will produce 30 a second per one of these. So that's what we're going to do. Rows, we're going to do a rung of 60 again. Takes us almost all the way to those iron veins as well. Now, I think for this, I can do a little bit of cheating. Right? I can at least get 2 of these rungs done. By just using a snipping tool. In fact, I can do more than that. I can just grab that, use now, and just kind of do that. And that won't work, damn it, because it's got sorters on it. Can I tell the sorters to rack off? I can tell the sorters to rack off, haha! Oh man, that's magic. Ah, nice. So very, very good. Just kind of snip and hang on. Snip there. Yeah, just muck that up. That's okay, because we had magic before. Alright, we do that. And then output here. tell this to be the regular particle container recipe. Oh really? You're gonna do that to me now? No, you're not as magic as I thought. Alright, we're gonna do this. You are no good to me. No good. Now you might think I've just gone crazy by undoing my good work, but there is a point to that, because copying down that recipe will mean that I also copy the assembler. So I can actually do this. And that'll get our sorters as well as the assemblers in play. Alright, well that's building. Let's put down some of the wonderful power structures here. Now, of course, we need to copy out this out a couple of times as well. Hit the Use Now button. That and that. And we're out of parts. We need more belts. That's unexpected. I was thinking sorters or maybe assemblers. Not belts as our thing that we ran out of. That's okay. Let's check out our power requirements while we're here. Yeah, I thought that might happen. That's fine. Gonna fill in the gaps on the other side here. Now this change will mean that we're going to need to run back to our local logistics planet. To sort that. And to pick up some more belts. Again, that is absolutely fine. What I'm also thinking here though, or what I've got in the back of my head rather, is that we should start thinking about some kind of warehousing planet. So a good deal of my problems will come from just the jerkiness of supply, and I need things before I can do this. Well, I might as well set this up in terms of just the start and stop, and 12,000 not being all that much in the scheme of things. So what I'm thinking at some point is that I want to have a storage planet for all of these goods so they can just ship it in when we've got excess being produced and not demanded by different planets, and then ship it out when it no longer needs it. And in the meantime, it can store up everything in big storage vats in storage Mark IIs or storage tanks. And ideally, I can actually put that a little bit, somewhere in between Arrakis and Smolder. How? Oh, that's a nasty noise as well. Yeah, wondering how our Dyson sphere is actually going here as well. I will take the lot, sir. Thank you. While I'm here, I might actually pick up some assemblers too. Got a good multi-buy deal here for me, please. There we go. Yes, we're getting a start of a Dyson's thing, or is it all just, yeah, it's running off to fill in the parts. Yeah, definitely plenty of rockets yet to come here. Much to be done, but look, it's coming into an alignment. Alignment and alignment. And then it fades off into chaos again. Really hoping that design works out as well in reality as I hope it does on that layout there. Oh god, the autosave while I'm trying to steer. No! Come back, planet. That was not timed well to make me look good. Ah, the planet's running away. Come back! What are we down this way? Nearly to the end here. Okay, so our inputs we want to set up here. Do this, this, and then we want our proliferation stations. Come on. I have to do it a little bit closer. There we go. One there, one there, one there. We'll get our paint so it's proliferated on input in this case. And back down a rung so we can get these guys in. Right. Good times. Right, let's hook this up with inputs and see how it performs. So again, we want output, 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 then grab these guys. So we want to proliferate all that as well when it's coming out, because none of it will have arrived proliferated. Go. Drop down the same sort of thing. And then we want the proliferation paint. Do that. And just wrap around the base like this. Which saves me from creating this spaghetti monstrosity of winding among factories, occasionally running out, and you have to kind of work out how to get more input into it in odd and wonderful ways. Whereas instead, if I do this sort of setup or this sort of pattern, then it's all good. I know that each of my factories are getting it straight away from output, so it's only a supply to the planet problem. Which still can be a problem, of course, but it's usually you know, it's a different kind of problem. We just need a bigger paint factory at that point. Right, nearly there. Then we'll have it all hooked up. There we go. Why isn't this working? Oh god, have I gotten something wrong? Nope. Oh, this is set up as out. Oh no, it's set up as output lines. How did I make that mistake? Oh, dear god. That's not good. Frick. Is there a rotation method? Can I? Shit. Hey, we got 3 of them working. If I run down and delete all this, then it's gonna try and dump all the stuff into my inventory. Frick, 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 frick. I'm gonna have to do that though. Sorry for the flashing. Yeah, look at all that excess of stuff just going everywhere. Gonna have to go pick this up. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I don't know what that 291 is either. It could just be superfluous stuff, or it could be things like this that I really do want to keep. So graphene I don't really care about too much, or same with copper. We should have those things for days, but... Yeah. And assembling machines will be useful as well. Huh. Yeah. About to have the same problem all over again. Oh, I don't have boxes in my inventory. I do. Ha! Put that box inside another box and mail that box to myself. When it arrives, I'll smash it with a hammer. Sorry, Emperor's New Grooves quote, couldn't help myself. We'll just drop some stuff in here temporarily while we fix this bit of a blunder that we've done. I say we, I've made this mistake. You've just watched me do it in chat, staying silent in chat. Now, my eyes. That flashing is not great. Alright, the boxing method seems to have worked, which is good. Dump whatever we picked up here back in. And go down and make sure everything gets built. Cool, and then we'll do the same thing here. And sorry again for all the flashiness. Ow, must keep staring though so I don't delete a belt instead. Like I nearly did then. Them in, drop them in, drop that in. Grab this. There. On the plus side, so far so good. We are definitely producing a chunk of particle containers to the point where it's getting to not quite a full build at the end. But I knew from the math that 60 wouldn't quite do it. But that's okay. And of course we're running out of something. Are we? No, we're not yet. Yeah, we up the top. Up the top, we just ran out of something. Copper. Really? Copper? Of all things? Let's let this power up a little bit. It can run off and grab things a little bit faster if it needs to that way. I suspect the reason why we're running out of copper is that it's going all the way to the smelter to get those, which is a fair distance off. I'm almost wondering if I should have something that's local, just getting basic resources to store on the planet. Just given the distances involved, and then run a local supply sort of situation. Also, I'm kind of curious to know where all our graphene is meant to be coming from. Did we get that on June? Are we making graphene on June? Or we input? Hang on. Let's go back to that viewpoint again. Ah, it's between here and your basic. Alright, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. Because that'll be electric motors, I reckon, largely. But yeah, we got plenty of blue motors now, which is great. Green motor production continues. That's all that can really be said for it. Yeah, okay, we're just waiting on these to come in as well. It's not quite far enough to justify warpers, it seems. Okay, excellent. We have upgrades. So we have this guy running every time it gets a decent amount of unipolar magnets in. I reckon that second logistics station will have been, yeah, that's just been superfluous. Oh well. Not even sure if it's worth it now. I mean, we'll cramp down the need. And this factory will be producing massive amounts. Yeah, we've got heaps of them now. That's awesome. It is, however, begging the question, why is this still stalled? What else are we missing in terms of raw resources for that to be going off? Processes. Processes were the other things. So for this to get started with processes, we actually need to head to your basic. That's 6 AUs. I reckon the supply issues probably at the other end in terms of not engaging warpers. And given the massive chain that it's making, I'll fix that. Whoa! It's so basic we just flew past you. Bazinga. Okay, here we go. You're pumping out things. What we're gonna do is distance to enable warp 2. Why are you? We have another one down, yeah, down here. And same deal. Set you to 2. That should mean that they, instead of taking the slowpoke method, they should warp their way across. Much faster. Now the other thing that we have a demand for, yeah, we really need more of these at some point too. but most of these things aren't working, and I reckon it's a magnet supply issue. Yep. Maybe this is the thing where we put in a new logistics station just solely for... Oh god, yeah, okay, so let's first give you some more power. And then we'll do the good old copy, use now, set it up behind. So if we're going to make some immediate changes to say clear, clear, oops, god, I didn't want to clear on that one. Excellent. Give you these. Some power. Oh, you can charge at 300 a second, I don't care. And then we'll tell you to do some clever stuff. Do the equivalent of 2 full belts coming in. Alright, so what that should mean is that we'll get this happening. It's outputting it at ridiculous rates. And supplementing the logistics of this particular place here, which is slowly running out of magnets. Those belts here should help it to still run a few outputs, at least one from the looks of things. Thinking maybe 2. Oh, it ran out, that's why. Oh no, it didn't. A stack of 4 coming in, I've got a stack of 2. Yep, it's certainly using all its logistics vessels to assist. You know, what more could we ask? That means more of these are going to be able to run. Hey, why is this all clogged up? Be clogged, buddy. What's going on here? You need a stacker. trying to do this in the wrong place. What a dog's breakfast this is. There we go. And it's full! You know what? If you're gonna warp around anywhere, do it quickly. Alright, that satisfies my need to just try and fix those bits up. Next up on the list, we're going to be working towards processors. So if we're going to do that, then we are also going to need to make some circuit boards, and we're going to need to make some microcrystalline components. So, circuit boards, first up. These will actually be really short belts, so I'm thinking somewhere near a pole should actually be the best place to produce these. So we'll look at using this little space up here. Just drop. It'll be short, but they'll be fat. So maybe not a pole. Maybe here. Actually, yeah, this will work. All right. Now, because these are going to produce an output of 2 every 1 second, sorry. We're producing 2 a second. Oh, hang on, calc disappeared. Yep, 2 times 1.5, and then times 1.25 means that it's really actually 3.75 a second that we're going to produce here. So instead of the normal 10, I'd say 8. Yep, 8 of these will produce 30 a second. So a full belt will be achieved with 8 of them. Now I could try and make this kind of nightmare up here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make a very... Oh, really? We're out? Ah, because put everything back in the box on the other bloody planet. Damn it! Once we come back, we're just going to make rungs 8. So it's going to be short, and it's going to be fat. Maybe we'll go for a rung of 16, actually, and we'll do a little bit of verticality, but not too much, because we've got to think that those output belts need to go in somewhere. So unless we want to mess around with stackers, which can be a little bit of a pain, as we discovered last time. Hey, come back. I'm your friend, please. There we go. Thank you. Got all my stuff back. Yeah, we'll do a stack of 16, but bearing in mind that each of these rows will be 2, and I've only got 12 available as inputs here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do another row of the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's it. Also, each of these will need 2 inputs, but it shouldn't be a problem actually now I think on it. Cool. So really short sort of factories because the output is so high. It's kind of a nice thing with dealing with just the basic factories here is that you can just do really short things and it's not going to be too much of a hassle if you've mucked it up. Right, we do that. Right. And we just set up our inputs and outputs. So the output needs to go into the corner here. And it doesn't matter about these ones, but we'll do that. Grab the green circuit board. Wondering why I keep on saying green circuit board instead of just circuit board is I'm a little bit used to Factorio still, where you have the green and the red and the blue. So it's just, you know, habit of language. Alright, so this will supply 2, we have 3, 6, 9, 12 inputs. So we can do 6 rungs of this, which we are of course going to do. Use it now. And then we're going to need to set this guy up, say about there. Now with 6 rungs, that means we have paint. I haven't thought of paint. Do the thing that I was saying just before that we shouldn't do. Grab paint from down here. Damn it. Ah, you hypocrite poops. You said not to do the thing, and then you did the thing. Alright, that's fine. We're fine. It's fine. We're gonna want some of this. We're gonna want some of this. We're gonna want some of this. Drop in some of these guys, and you're gonna remote command these. Local storage. And then we're gonna wanna run these. Now, you might be thinking, well, why not just skip it? Why not skip proliferation just this once? The answer is because I've just done the math based on there being proliferation on these, and if we don't have it, then that math changes. And I won't actually have full outputs that I'm counting on. While it may seem like, hey, let's just take the lazy way out, and I might otherwise agree, but in this case, you know, it'd just be frustrating to go through the process of doing that and then not getting what I was kind of building this to produce. music on this always makes me think a little bit of The Expanse. Just that do 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 do. All right. So let's start at the top, I think. Let me think here. Take the iron from here. Oh, I've done a double iron at some point. This is not cool. I've not counted at some point. Input, input. Oh. Yeah. That's alright, we can fix it. We can fix it. Just, it's more of a spaghetti monster than we originally thought it might be. There we go. Now, we also need to hook this up with power. So we'll give it a few of these at the outer edges, but I'm not sure we can actually cover everything on the middle doing this. Oh, there's our timer as well, so we won't get into processes tonight, folks. We will finish off this factory though. And then we'll move on to the other stuff tomorrow night. Yeah. Storage, give you these. Need to give you power too. And then hook up the belts. Makes sense for this one to go down straight away and run in. Then we'll do that. Right. Why is this not operating? Oh, hang on. I've hooked it up wrong. Should be like that. You need to run along till there. Then go up one. Yeah, it's better. And we got it. A full factory producing, what is it? 60, 120, oh god, 240, 300, 360, 420 a second of circuit boards. And the sad thing is, it may actually end up not being enough. Sad slash maybe scary. But that's all we have time for tonight, folks. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode, watching me struggle a little bit there, hooking things up incorrectly. If you did enjoy tonight's episode, then drop me a follow on Twitch. It really helps me out. And thank you everyone who has been following along on this journey. If you are watching later on YouTube, of course, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe. It helps me out there too as well. Otherwise, my name is Pooks. I hope again that you've enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next stream. See ya.